As air pollution levels in the British capital reach a high, Londoners encouraged to leave their cars at home and shift from 4 wheels to 2. RT's Polly Boyko takes up the story.
The Great London Smog of 1952.
Britain was back in the Dark Ages.
Thousands of square miles were blanketed day after day.
Breathing this for several hours in a traffic jam can't be healthy for anybody.
Today it appears much cleaner, but the reality is that London's air is so dirty, it's been breaching legal limits set out by the EU for years. 30,000 deaths are attributed to pollution annually.
People look at the air today and assume it's clean, but unfortunately it's still very dangerous. Air pollution today is completely invisible, but the reason for this is it's very small, microscopic particles, and that's also the reason that they're so damaging to your health, because they can travel deep inside your respiratory system.
And it's Londoners' car travel that's largely responsible for it. Cars and lorries emit an invisible gas called nitrogen dioxide, known as the silent killer. Its effects are noticeable. It can cause respiratory disease, reduce lung function, and according to the World Health Organization, even trigger lung cancer.
The biggest single source of nitrogen dioxide, this toxic gas in London, are actually these red buses going past. We're also very concerned about diesel vehicles. Diesel vehicles are responsible probably for about 90% of the most harmful exhaust emissions.
Client Earth, an environmental campaign group, is suing the UK government for what they call failing to protect Brits from air pollution and failing to come up with plans to drastically reduce nitrogen dioxide levels.
We're currently breaching limits in 40 out of 43 zones in the UK, and 16 of these we don't think we're going to reach them until 2020, and that's 10 years after the deadline.
In May, the Supreme Court ruled that the government isn't doing enough to reduce pollution and improve public health. We got in touch with DEFRA, the government department responsible for air quality, and they told us,
air quality has improved significantly in London, and we expect it to improve further thanks to the actions the government is taking to reduce transport emissions.
But campaigners say that charging cars to drive into central London and introducing what the government has tagged as greener buses isn't enough.
I think they need to take a really hard look at what's necessary to reduce pollution in the UK. The choices are extremely difficult and electorally not very popular. It basically means taking diesel vehicles off the road in the very foreseeable future. You can imagine that's not a vote winner.
I have to deal with the city as it is and not some crazy green nirvana in which we all sit around eating alfalfa and nobody drives a car. That is not going to happen.
Since it's not going to happen, campaigners are urging Londoners to each do their bit to make the air in the city cleaner by shunning their cars and pedalling around town instead, while avoiding the most polluted routes, of course.
But it's not clear how much difference it will make, since the government itself admits that London will remain dangerously polluted until at least the year 2025. Polly Boyko, RT, London.